Soaring friends, I am Vitaly Portnikov, Marzhny Putin agitator Volodymyr Solovyov, Zaklikaya flooded Kiev, Kharkiv, Odessa. Dnipro, Nikolaev Sums. Ukrainian places. On bookmarks. The rocky sprat is that the skin bookmarks up to places and with a richly populated million. A reference lock before the genocide. Maya is persecuted according to the prominent articles of the Criminal Code of the Russian Federation itself. And LTPR can still say all the red lines on the raid. Solovyov Nomite adept terror and evil, that still, of course, still such bookmarks with Russian President Putin Russian political. Even the most such plans of Kiev, Kharkov, Odessa. You discuss Ukrainian places with the Kremlin. And who to voice those people on Maria Putin? I think we are still the head of the Russian President of Ukraine, still Putin, taking the territory of our power on the yak itself, as a springboard for control over Europe. Richly who can guide. Propagandist. Can't get out of the Russian Federation, and that propane, and will continue. And fight with her alone know the cruel Ukrainians from the outside world. And in my verbiage, I am not greedy propagandists. I'm just stating the facts. The facts are tied firm that I am with the Russian Federation today. The facts are tied up with the adoration of propagandists. They will serve on the nobility the most about hydroelectric power plants in the history of mankind. There could be competitors from the plans of Hitler's Nazis. Tilke did not voice their intentions, let's say, on the residual solution of the Jewish torture and millions of people. The Yak did not voice plans to the Stalinist Kremlin to carry out millions of Ukrainians as a result of the ill-fated Holodomor. And Solovyov, all these plans for the presence of millions of Ukrainians in the largest Ukrainian places are voiced in Russian, so that no one doubts about the real numbers of Moscow. Well, extremely Russian mythology about the fact that Ukraine is a continuation of Russia, still on the territory of our country. The living fraternal people are hiding in Zagoli about the fact that Ukrainians are Russians themselves. I really respected him so much in Moscow. The propagandist did not allow millions of the same Russians, Tilke to the fact that the Russian bandit armies do not occupy the territory of our Ukraine. And Russia has already been brought 4 times to demonstrate imperious cruelty, helplessness, and whining at this suite. I am to helplessness and whining. Russian propagandists go to the top of our most famous halls. And in fact, they are live-streamed here. Kola civilized retinue in yes extracted with the gentry economical political dismantling of the Russian regime. It is important that such Solovyov really led for their Zaloki and for their propaganda evil. So that they don't unravel everything else, and ours couldn't. So that people of merit for now, and shut down their inglorious and incompetent at the entrance to the shop entrance. And a lot of greedy chance for the white light, after propane imperius, into the kingdom of millions. Millions of wife and children. People Polovika just living people, I would like them to be nightingales, because they are not from the politics of his Lord Putin. From the politics of the evil organization, I Tilky look like a power to the fact that the powers, since Russia does not lead the Security Council. So Tilky leads Dicky more terrorist and mafia U-group. Well, everyone had an extremely queer idea that in Russia such a mafia organization of the VDs for the state. But the Russian political regime did not have such a reluctance. And Solovyov practically revealing the cards, the yaks are on the desktop of the Russian president. Donald Trump. Yak cards on the desktop and in Putin's cache. Cards are taken into slavery forcibly with genocide. Up to an anchor, they will be stuck behind the screen in the Russian one. I'm in Rwanda, one of the loudspeakers from the radio station began to clamor to the masses. Imperious nicknames. What is true is that those who are kicking Hain buckets high through the rocks on the lava of the judgment of the International Tribunal and the TPPR are there. There are those who are kicking to the murder of innocent people. And I believe that Solovyov is a participant in his propaganda show. Tesh, there are repeat offenders in the past and a maniac. There are not fear and Riam and staying a million. I don't know if the Russian propaganda has a nasty bottom. Diakuyu? It ends on the topic of the channel. Subscribe to it. Subscribe to my social on the channel in Patreon. It helps to develop these resources. The sponsorship function of the world itself.